Formula 1 racing has been thrilling fans around the world for over 70 years. From the sleek, aerodynamic designs of the cars to the precision driving skills of the athletes behind the wheel, F1 is a sport that demands both technical excellence and raw talent. But what about those of us who don't have access to a real Formula 1 car? That's where F1 video games come in. So sit back, buckle up, and join me as we explore the history and evolution of Formula 1 video games. This is something not to miss. Formula 1 is widely acknowledged as the peak of motorsports competition anywhere in the globe. This tournament is held on an annual basis, and the participants are those who are thought to be the very greatest drivers. This rivalry opened the way for a game that is so much comparable, and that is the video games. Fans have always had the desire of competing in a motorsport at some point in their lives, and Formula 1 has always succeeded in drawing the attention of people who are passionate about motorsport. Playing the video games is, of course, going to be the most authentic experience that fans can have. The one drawback is that the Formula 1 video game did not enjoy the same level of popularity as other racing-themed video games, such as street racing and rally racing. The well-known Grand Prix slot casino game is an example of the type of rally game that can be played for real money in online casinos. The earliest Formula 1 video games were straightforward affairs. They were frequently portrayed from a top-down perspective and included basic visuals and gameplay. One of the earliest examples was an arcade game called Pole Position, which came out in 1982 and allowed players to race around a short circuit in an F1 car. It was one of the earliest examples. Formula 1 video games became increasingly difficult to play as new technologies became available. An illustration of this would be the video game F1 Challenge, which was released in 2003 for the PlayStation 2 and featured more realistic artificial intelligence opponents in addition to more complex graphics and physics. When we got to the generation of consoles that included the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, F1 games had already reached a far higher level of complexity. For example, the video game F1 2010 included realistic weather conditions, comprehensive tire wear, and even a career mod that gave players the opportunity to construct their very own Formula 1 organization from the bottom up. So, what are the components that go into a Formula 1 game? Several developers said, always, we begin with the physical aspects. That is the thing that should be emphasized the most. It is essential that the vehicles have a realistic feel when being driven and that the player is able to differentiate between the effects of varying fuel loads and tire compounds. But we also need to make certain that gamers of varying degrees of expertise are able to enjoy playing the game. This is why we provide a variety of control schemes and difficulty settings. We want to ensure that everyone, regardless of their prior gaming experience, is able to enjoy playing the game. Esports competitions featuring professional gamers playing in F1 video games for large cash prizes and worldwide recognition have also grown increasingly commonplace in recent years. Modern Formula 1 video games continue to push the limits of what is possible by featuring graphics that are very detailed, exact simulations of the game's underlying physics, and even virtual representations of actual racetracks and circuits. For example, F1 2021 has a career option that lets players experience the highs and lows of life as an F1 driver, replete with real-world competition and the dynamics of actual teams. The development of Formula 1 video games has been a fascinating journey, starting with the classic Pole Position and progressing to the most cutting-edge experiences available today. And with brand new technological advancements on the horizon, who can say what the future of virtual Formula 1 racing may hold? But if there's one thing that's certain, it's that we can't wait to find out the answer. There has never been a better opportunity to put yourself in the driver's seat of a virtual race car and feel the exhilarating rush of high-speed competition, regardless of whether you are an avid F1 fan or just learning about the sport for the first time. With the turn of the millennium, several of the Formula 1 video games that are now considered to be among the all-time greats were released. F1 video games such as F1 2000, Formula 1 2001, and Formula 1 Championship Edition set a new standard for the genre by providing players with gorgeous visuals, accurate tracks, and capabilities for player management. In recent years, game makers have contributed to push the boundaries with titles like as F1 2021, which contains advanced artificial intelligence, cars that can be customized, and management of teams. The introduction of virtual reality, which enables players to really immerse themselves in the Formula 1 universe in a way that was never before possible, is possibly the most fascinating development that has taken place in recent years. F1 video games are getting increasingly realistic as a result of ongoing technological advancements. This provides gamers with an unprecedented level of immersion and enthusiasm in their gameplay. Every element, from the scream of the engines to the screech of the tires, has been perfectly recreated, giving gamers the opportunity to feel the excitement of Formula 1 racing in a way that they never have before. Yet, the aesthetics and physics aren't the only things that make F1 games so entertaining to play. In addition to this, they instill a healthy dose of healthy competition as well as a camaraderie. There is a real sense of accomplishment that comes from understanding the complexities of F1 racing and coming out on top. And this feeling is present regardless of whether you are racing against the clock or competing against other players online. And because to the development of esports, playing Formula 1 video games is now more than simply a pastime. They are a legal kind of competition, in which professional gamers compete against one another for large prizes and the recognition of people all over the world. The F1 Esports Pro Series and the virtual Grand Prix are just two examples of how virtual racing has evolved into a respectable sport on its own right. Millions of fans are turning in to see the action as it happens. So, where do you see video games like Formula 1 going from here? The future holds the potential for brand new technologies, such as virtual reality and augmented reality, both of which are on the horizon. Just for a moment, picture yourself being able to climb into the driver's seat of a Formula 1 car and experiencing the thrill of the wind as you go around the course at dizzying speeds. Now, picture yourself being able to sit in the comfort of your own home and watch a race in real time, using virtual reality technology that gives you the impression that you're right in the thick of things. Fans all across the world will continue to be enthralled and thrilled by Formula 1 racing for many years to come. And this much is clear regardless of what the future contains. There is no doubting the draw of this wonderful sport and the amazing games that bring it to life. Whether you're a die-hard F1 fan or just looking for a fun and exciting way to pass the time, there is no denying the appeal of this sport and the gamers that bring it to life. What exactly are you looking forward to? Put yourself in the driver's seat of a simulator and feel the excitement of Formula 1 racing for yourself. So there you have it, the evolution of Formula 1 video games. From simple top-down racers to the detailed and impressive experiences of today, F1 games have come a long way. And with each new release, they continue to bring us closer to the excitement and thrill of real-life Formula 1 racing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next virtual race.